Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another boot review. I know it's been quite a long time since I've done one previously. Unfortunately, things happen. We've been in the middle of a whole lot of things worldwide and whatnot. Don't really need to get too much into that. But it's been a trying time at to say the least. So, that being said, I did manage to get a new pair of boots, and I've actually got another pair on the way, and they should be in today. So we're actually going to have a twofer, which is amazing. I'm really excited about that. So, without further delay, let's get into this pair. These are the Joshua by Jessica Simpson. So slowly pulling the closet together, trying to collect most of the knee-high boots that the Jessica Simpson line released when they first debuted, which was, I don't know exactly when. I'll see if I can put a date in the video and kind of overlay it. I don't remember exactly when, but it was, I want to say, either late 2000s or 2010, somewhere around there, 2012. Somewhere between, I want to say somewhere between 2007 and 2012 or so is when they started to, when her line came out and she started to put out boots and other clothing and whatnot. So during that lineup, there was various, different types of shoes and whatnot, and she had 6 or 7 different models of knee-high boots. And so I've been trying to, I really like the style of them, so I was like, okay, I will grab a pair, and then I found another pair, and then I found a third pair now, so I've almost got every single style. Anyway, these are the Joshuas. They are actually kind of listed as an over-the-knee boot, an OTK boot. I want to say that they're just slightly taller than the tulips, but not by much. In the pictures and everything, it usually shows the woman's knee in this area, but for some reason, maybe my legs are a little longer or whatnot, the tulips are almost the same length. And there's actually one thing I want to do. So I grabbed my tape measure so we can actually take some measurements when we do the comparison between the two. So these are a real leather, unlike that one pair of tulips that I bought that was not a real leather. These are actually real leather all the way up. However, in typical Jessica Simpson fashion, they gotta kind of cut corners somewhere. And I've noticed that so far in a few pairs of boots from them. The tulips were not finished on the inside of the cuff. These are cuffed, and I was thinking, oh, this is going to be real nice, except the inside of the cuff is not real leather. It's a faux leather, and this particular pair, this faux leather is peeling everywhere. So I think they tried to do that either A, to save cost, or B, to try to make it a little more durable. How faux leather would be more durable than real leather, I don't know. And why not just leave it unfinished like you did on the tulips? Both pairs of boots came out during the same time frame. Why did this pair get, they get the faux leather that peels, where the tulips were just unfinished leather? So that's probably my only gripe with these. It doesn't affect the outside at all. It doesn't look bad at all, but that stuff's slowly flaking, and it's probably gonna fall out and make a mess all over the place. Overall, though, that's my only complaint about these boots. They do have a little tie in the back and 2 metal decorations that have the Jessica Simpson logo in them. And I found it interesting that as you walk, guaranteed they just continue to click. It's not annoying at all. It's just a little thing that every time you take a step, you hear the little click. And it's like, okay. It's just kind of in the back of my head all the time that I'm wearing these. These are in a size 10. Again, I normally wear a size 11, so these are a bit tight on me, and they're slowly stretching as I wear them because they are real leather, and leather does stretch as you wear it. So that's a good point, and I probably would not have bought them had they been faux leather because I wouldn't have been able to stretch them at all. The heel on these, we'll get an accurate measurement right now. The heel on these are a 4.5 inch heel, and it is a stacked design, but it's a fairly thin design. It's a little more of a stiletto, but not a true stiletto. I mean, it's definitely not as small as a regular stiletto would be, but it's definitely thinner than, say, the tulips or the Keatons that I have. It took a minute for it to float back to the top of my head. Speaking of the tulips, we can kind of compare. I do have them right here. So this is the tulip, and you notice it's got a much thicker block heel compared to the Joshua. It's also a little different color. These are a little darker versus this little bit lighter tan. And I had a pair of Yanas before as well that were also in a tan color, and they were kind of in between the two. It was not the same as this, but it wasn't as dark as this. And these have a little more of like a distressed, like the color's not a perfect, it's not the same shade all the way through. It's got some highlights and darker spots. It looks like it's been weathered a little bit. These are a little more constant in the color. So it's a little more the same color through and through. So the Yanas that I had were more distressed like these, but more this lighter tone. It's kind of hard to describe without showing you guys, but so if we compare the two, the tulip is actually a 5-inch heel, but it's got a little bit more. Well, we'll put the tape measure on it before I just go saying it's got more of anything. That's a 1/2-inch platform, and that is a 3/4 inch platform. So platform slightly higher on there, but the heel's a 1/2 inch higher. So if you take the platform and measure and remove it from the heel height, this was 3/4, 5 minus 3/4, 4 1/4. So 4 1/4 inch rise between the heel and the foot base. These were a 1/2 inch platform with a 4.5 inch. That's a 4-inch rise. So these have a little steeper. It's a little bit steeper of an incline to your foot. Not much, only a 1/4 inch, but it's still a little steeper. Because these have a thinner heel, they almost looked taller to me. It's an optical illusion. Again, if we kind of take the two and kind of compare them and unfold them, they're almost the same height in terms of shaft height, which again, these were advertised when they were selling new as a knee-high boot. And these were sold as an OTK boot, where in reality they're both almost the exact same height. If I can find where I just put the tape measure down. So let's get a definitive answer here. We'll kind of measure from the top of the heel. I got 17 inches there. We'll do the same here from the top of the heel. We're at 18 inches. So it's only a 1-inch difference between shaft heights. Now, in terms of comfort, it's hard to say, it's hard for me to compare these and these because these are a size 11, these are a size 10. So I'm not comparing perfect apples to apples. However, the Keatons, with the Keatons, which I just happen to have, these are a size 10, also Jessica Simpson. So I can compare these two relatively easily. I'd say in terms of comfort, the Keatons are probably just a little more comfortable, and that's just because they have a little bit lower heel. So the footbed isn't quite as steep. And obviously, anytime you have a slightly lower heel, it's going to make it a little more comfortable for long-term wear. The overall foot size, though, the shape and whatnot, I think they used pretty much the same tooling to make each pair, because the foot shape inside is pretty similar. The Keatons fit me better right now, but that's because they've been stretched out. I've had them longer, and I've been wearing them more. The Joshuas will slowly come up over time, and I'm sure they'll match those with no problem. So that's pretty much my small mini review of the Joshua model by Jessica Simpson. I really would love to get a pair of these in black if possible. I think they'd look much better in black than in the tan. They just weren't available, and being that it's the very first run of models, none of these boots are manufactured anymore. They're not being made, so it's kind of just whenever I can find some and have the money to purchase them. And that's the big key, is having the money to purchase them when I find them. Poshmark's been pretty good to me lately. Found some real nice pairs that I've got my eye on. I just have to get the money for them. So that's the big key, is that whole fixed income and purchasing things while still being able to live. So anyhow, that's the Joshua by Jessica Simpson, and stay tuned, because like I said, later on this week, hopefully today, got a new pair coming, so within the next 2 days I should have another video up for you guys. So thanks for watching. Make sure you click like, subscribe, all that happy stuff, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.